Bridges connect worlds, not just the land beneath our feet, but the thin veil between the living and the dead. Tonight, we step into shadows where history bleeds into legend, and the restless haunt the forgotten spans of Canada's most haunted bridges. Dare to cross with me, if you're brave enough. Year 1. Historic Hartland Covered Bridge, Heartland, New Brunswick. They say if you drive across the Historic Hartland Covered Bridge, after midnight, alone, windows down, you might hear it, the unmistakable creak of phantom footsteps walking above your car. This is no ordinary bridge. Built in 1901 and stretching 1,282 feet, it is the longest covered bridge in the world. But with that title comes a shadowed past soaked in sorrow. In the early 20th century, workers died during construction, some buried in the very timbers that hold it up. Locals whisper of a carriage accident long ago, where a mother and child plunged into the St. John River below, their bodies never recovered. To this day, people report a woman in white pacing the bridge, vanishing as headlights catch her. Others claim to feel an icy hand brush their shoulder, or hear the soft sobbing of a child beneath the floorboards. The bridge is a monument to engineering, yes, but it's also a portal of grief, echoing with the restless spirits who never left. Welcome to Heartland, if you dare to cross. 2. West Montrose Covered Bridge, Kissing Bridge, West Montrose, Ontario. By day, the West Montrose Covered Bridge is a charming relic, red, wooden, and draped in nostalgia. But when the sun dips below the horizon, something else awakens beneath its beams. Built in 1881, this bridge is Ontario's oldest, affectionately called the Kissing Bridge. Yet the kisses it holds are not of love, but of death. Legend tells of a bride who vanished on her wedding night, last seen walking toward the bridge in her gown, heartbroken after her fiancé drowned in the river below. Her ghost, pale and drifting, is still seen gliding silently across the planks, veil trailing in the mist. Locals speak of sudden cold spots, flickering lights, and the eerie sound of footsteps echoing when no one is there. Some even claim to hear whispers, pleas for help carried on the wind. Beneath its quaint appearance lies a chilling truth. The Quiet. West Montrose Covered Bridge is not just a passage through time, it's a threshold between the living and the dead. Washam, Kinsol Trestle, Shawnigan Lake, British Columbia. High above the forest floor, the Kinsel Trestle looms like a forgotten skeleton, its towering wooden frame stretching 187 feet into the misty sky. Built in 1920 for the Canadian Northern Pacific Railway, it was once a marvel of engineering. But beneath its beauty lies a story soaked in fear. Workers died building this behemoth, some falling to their deaths, others crushed beneath collapsing timber. Locals believe their spirits never left. Hikers crossing the trestle at dusk report hearing screams echoing through the trees and heavy footsteps pounding behind them, though no one is ever there. Some say they've seen a shadowy figure staring down from the top, only to vanish when approached. And beneath the bridge, by the dark waters of the Coxilla River, a woman in tattered clothes is said to wail through the night, her presence chilling enough to make phones lose signal and flashlights flicker. The Kinsel Trestle may no longer carry trains, but it carries something darker, the weight of souls still trapped in its bones. Four. Capilano Suspension Bridge, North Vancouver, British Columbia. Swinging 230 feet above a roaring gorge, the Capilano Suspension Bridge is a breathtaking marvel by day. But at night, it becomes something far more sinister. Built in 1889, This narrow footbridge stretches 450 feet across the Capilano River, suspended between towering evergreens and centuries-old secrets. Indigenous legends speak of ancient spirits that roam the forest, guarding sacred ground long before the bridge ever existed. But not all spirits are protectors. Visitors after dusk report shadowy figures pacing the bridge, their outlines flickering in and out of existence. Some have heard low whispers in languages they don't understand, and others claim unseen hands tug at their clothes as they walk. In 1903, a man fell to his death, his body never found. Now, hikers say a pale figure appears briefly over the rail, staring into the abyss before vanishing into thin air. Cameras fail, footsteps echo with no source, and time feels wrong. Capilano Suspension Bridge may offer a scenic view, but it also hangs between two worlds, the living and whatever watches from the trees. At 5. Historic Percy Covered Bridge at Powerscourt, Hinchinbrook, Quebec. Hidden in the misty countryside of Quebec, the historic Percy Covered Bridge at Powerscourt stands as one of Canada's oldest surviving covered bridges. Quiet, weathered, and whispering with secrets. Built in 1861, its aged timbers have borne more than just the weight of passing carriages. They've absorbed grief, betrayal, and death. Locals speak of a young couple who planned to elope across this bridge, but only one ever made it. Her body was found hanging from the rafters, her lover never seen again. Since then, the bridge has been cursed with eerie phenomena. Visitors crossing at twilight report seeing a figure swaying gently from above, her face veiled by shadow. Others hear the anguished sobs of a woman echoing from the beams, even when the night is dead silent. Car engines stall at its entrance, and footsteps clatter behind you, only to reveal empty air. It's said that if you walk through the bridge with impure intentions, you'll never reach the other side. The Tsara Percy Covered Bridge is not just a historic relic, it's a haunted threshold where the past clings like fog and the dead still keep watch. Chapter 6. Stony Creek Bridge, Rogers Pass, British Columbia. Perched precariously over a chasm in the heart of the Selkirk Mountains, the Stony Creek Bridge is an engineering marvel shrouded in tragedy. Originally built in 1885 for the Canadian Pacific Railway, it was once the highest railway bridge in the British Empire, but that height came with a deadly price. During its early construction, several workers plummeted to their deaths, their bodies lost in the fog and rock below. Since then, strange things have plagued the site. Train engineers have reported seeing figures on the tracks, only for them to vanish seconds before impact. Some nights, thick, unnatural fog rolls in without warning, followed by the sound of hammering, as if the ghosts of dead workers are still trying to finish the job. Others claim to hear a train whistle echoing through the canyon, even when no train is scheduled to pass. The Stony Creek Bridge may have carried Canada's progress across a deadly gap, but it also became a gateway to the afterlife, where the souls of the fallen still wander, trapped between steel and stone. Seven. Confederation Bridge, Borden Carleton, Prince Edward Island. Stretching an eerie 12.9 kilometers over the Northumberland Strait, the Confederation Bridge is Canada's longest, and perhaps its most unsettling. Opened in 1997 to connect Prince Edward Island to the mainland, this modern marvel cuts through windswept fog and icy waters that have swallowed ships and souls for centuries. But beneath its sleek concrete lies something ancient and restless. Long before the bridge existed, Mi'kmaq legends spoke of water spirits who demanded respect or vengeance. Since its construction, drivers have reported ghostly figures appearing in the road, drenched, lifeless, eyes hollow, only to vanish when approached. Others claim to feel an overwhelming sense of dread mid-crossing, as if something is watching from the depths below. Car radios crackle with static, GPS systems glitch, and on stormy nights, a phantom voice has been heard whispering in the wind, "Turn back." Some say it's the sea, mourning the disturbance of a sacred path. Others believe it's the souls of those lost in the strait, forever seeking a way home. The Confederation Bridge may connect two provinces, but it also bridges the realm of the living and the dead. 8. Alexandra Bridge, Ottawa, Ontario. Gatineau, Quebec. Spanning the dark waters of the Ottawa River, the Alexandra Bridge links two cities, but at night, it becomes a corridor of whispers, shadows, and sorrow. Completed in 1901, this steel truss bridge has witnessed over a century of tragedy. Lovers torn apart, lives ended in despair, and countless suicides lost to the depths below. Some say the bridge absorbs emotion, holding it like a wound that never heals. Walkers have reported ghostly apparitions pacing the walkway, eyes fixed on the river, only to vanish at the edge. A pale woman in a long dress is often seen staring silently over the railing before dissolving into mist. Others describe a sudden plunge in temperature, the sensation of hands pressing against their back, urging them forward into the void. On foggy nights, a faint sobbing can be heard, echoing between the beams, too human to ignore, too hollow to be alive. The Alexandra Bridge may be a vital passage between provinces, but to those who cross it alone at night, it is a place where grief lingers, and the veil between this world and the next wears dangerously thin. 9. Bill Thorp, Walking Bridge, Fredericton, New Brunswick. What was once a bustling railway bridge is now the Bill Thorp Walking Bridge, a peaceful pedestrian path by day. But as night falls, peace gives way to something far more chilling. Built in the late 19th century and later converted for public use, the bridge stretches across the St. John River, holding within its iron bones the echoes of a darker time. Workers who died during its construction, drifters who vanished without a trace, and whispers of lovers who jumped to their deaths have left their mark here. Locals speak of a man in tattered clothes who walks the bridge in silence, vanishing when approached. Others report the sound of phantom footsteps pacing behind them, always just out of sync with their own. On cold nights, a dense fog rolls in, and with it, the scent of burning coal, though no train has passed in decades. Some have even heard the ghostly rumble of an old locomotive, shaking the bridge as if the past is trying to break through. The Bill Thorp Walking Bridge is a scenic trail by light, but after dark, it becomes a path walked not just by the living, but by the haunted remnants of those who never left. 10. Peace Bridge, Calgary, Alberta. Its name suggests serenity, but the Peace Bridge in Calgary tells a different story once the sun goes down. Opened in 2012, this sleek red helix of steel spans the Bow River, known for its modern beauty and vibrant views, but also for something far more unsettling. Built near the site of historic drownings and whispered tragedies, the bridge seems to carry a hidden darkness beneath its polished frame. Joggers late at night report seeing a figure standing motionless in the middle of the walkway, dressed in black, face obscured, vanishing when approached. Others claim to feel watched, even followed, with no one else around. On certain foggy evenings, a low hum can be heard, like distant chanting or a breathless whisper, rising from the river below. Some believe it's the spirits of those who died in the icy waters, seeking warmth, recognition, or revenge. Phones malfunction, footsteps echo louder than they should, and time itself feels distorted. The Peace Bridge may promise connection and calm, but beneath its surface, something ancient and unseen moves with the current, reminding us that even the most beautiful places can harbor the most restless souls. You've crossed these haunted bridges in the dark, where whispers cling to every beam and spirits wait just beyond sight. Remember, some crossings are never truly left behind, because on the other side, the past is always watching. Until next time, keep your eyes open and beware what waits in the shadows.